All right, so the defendant pled not true to 5-9, 15M, 15O, 19D, 1 and 5. And state you have no further witnesses.
That is correct.
So what are you asking the court to do? Court is calling 2019 CR 13071, State of Texas versus Martin Mendez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Mendez.
And are you Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Could I have the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, and if you'll state your name for the record.
Carmen Tarragon Nazareth.
All right, Mr. Mendez. I don't know why I'm adding extra syllables. So, Mr. Mendez, all of the documents that I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And counsel, do you speak Spanish fluently?
I do, Your Honor.
Are you the same Martin Mendez who was placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 13071 for the offense of driving while intoxicated third or more on January 13th, 2021 for a term of 4 years?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to have to wait till the interpreter finishes interpreting. Either you want to use the interpreter or you do not. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And the motion to revoke community supervision, did you review that with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, state.
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Martin Mendez defended their failed to report to the supervision officer as directed in the months of February 2021 and March 2021 in violation of Condition 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Not true.
On or about the 30th day of March 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Martin Mendez failed to report a change of address job request to the supervision officer within 48 hours in violation of Condition 9.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Not true. Judge, he's going to plead not true to all conditions, just so the court knows.
All right. Counsel, your next allegation.
On or about the 15th day of April 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Martin Mendez defended their failed to register for or attend certified DWI intervention program with the agency violation of Condition 10. On or about the 15th day of April 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Martin Mendez defended their failed to register for or attend DWI victim impact panel with the agency violation of condition number 15O. On or about the 15th day.
Okay, you need to slow down because the interpreter is trying to interpret and the court reporter is trying to take everything down. All right, yes.
On or about the 15th day of April 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Martin Mendez defended their failed to obtain and comply with the Portable Alcohol Monitoring Device Program in violation of condition number 19B.
All right, so to violations of 5, 9, 15M, 15O, and 19D, how do you plead? True or not true?
Not true.
All right.
We have a few more, Your Honor.
We have a First Amendment, Judge.
Okay, I don't have a copy of a First Amendment. Let me see. Does anyone? All right, thank you. All right, and did you review the First Amended motion to revoke with your attorney?
Yes.
And did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, in the First Amendment, they have a violation of condition number 1. Did you review that violation with your attorney?
Yes,
And how do you plead to that violation?
not true.
And then there's a violation of condition number 5. And state if you'll read that violation into the record, please.
Yes, Your Honor. In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Mendez, and then there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2022, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 2023, January, February, March, April, May, June, and July 2024, in violation of condition number 5.
And how do you plead to that, true or not true?
Not true.
Did you understand by pleading true to 5, 9, 15M, 15O, 19D, 1, and 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 3 years in the prison and $1,000 fine?
You understand? What you read is that?
Yes,
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to those violations?
Not true, Judge.
I'm sorry, knowing that, do you still wish to plead not true to those violations?
yes,
All right, State, do you have any witnesses?
State calls Juan Biasana. Yeah.
Sir, do you need to have a seat? We can have a chair for you.
Right.
You need a seat, sir? No. Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so the interpreter can hear and the court reporter can hear. If you'll state your name for the record.
Juan Biasana.
All right, state.
Biasana, how are you currently employed?
I'm a probation officer with Bear County Adult Probation.
How long have you been employed with Bear County Adult Probation?
I've been there 1 year and 9 months.
And were you assigned to the supervision for a gentleman of the name of Martin Mendez?
I was assigned just on August the 5th due to it being a Spanish speaker and a DWI case.
Judge, I'd like some clarification on the year.
All right. If you'll state the year you were assigned.
August 5th, 2020.
Okay.
Were you able to review the supervision office's electronic files for Mr. Mendez?
I did do a case file review.
Did that include a photograph of Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
Did you view that photograph?
Yes, sir.
Do you see the person photographed in that file in court today?
There, Mr. President.
I'm sorry, I can hear you.
Yes, right there.
Okay.
So the gentleman in handcuffs?
Yes.
Now, when was Mr. Mendez placed on community supervision?
January 13th, 2021.
And according to the notes that you reviewed, who gave him the supervision, the community supervision conditions?
The conditions were
At
read.
this time, Your Honor, I'm going to object to any hearsay. He does not have personal knowledge based upon the date that he said he started at the office.
All right, any response to hearsay?
Yes, Your Honor. Under Greer v. State, the supervision office's records are considered records of regularly conducted activity not created by law enforcement personnel, and therefore are exempt from the hearsay rules.
All right, have you laid the foundation for that? that these are probation records that he's reviewing?
Not yet, Your Honor.
All right, then the foundation needs to be laid, and then defense, if you wish to re-urge your objection, the court will hear.
The supervision records that you reviewed for this hearing, how are they entered and by whom?
Are they entered?
Yes.
Are you talking about the conditions of probation?
I'm
Our
talking,
interpreter needs.
All right, if you all will make sure that you keep your voice up so that the court interpreter can hear.
are they entered by law enforcement personnel?
They are entered by I believe the CLO.
Is the CLO certified peace officer?
No, they should only be a certified probation officer.
So are they considered law enforcement personnel?
I would believe so.
If they're not a certified peace officer, then are they other law enforcement personnel?
Objection to leading.
Sustained.
And who enters the supervision office's records?
When he pled in court, he was already in custody of the Brad County Jail and the previous CLO.
And who was that previous CLO?
I am not sure who the previous CLO was.
Would you be able to know that information if you reviewed it?
I don't have it in my case file. I will have to go back and look at the documentation.
You didn't do this record with me?
All I brought was a court summary.
Understood. Your Honor, will you excuse this witness to get his records from his office and continue this proceeding?
Your Honor, we've been set multiple times for this case for a contested hearing, and my client just wants to be continued on probation, and I'm not really sure why we're having to reset for him to bring the records. They knew it was a contested hearing.
All right, so I'll give you all till 1:30 to have the records. If they're not here at 1:30, then this is where we will be. I'll make a different ruling perhaps. So 1:30.
Thank you.
All right, if you all approach.
Mendez?
We're back on the record in 2019 CR 13071 State versus Martin Mendez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Monica Guerrero for Mr. Mendez, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Mendez?
Yes.
All right, and we've got to have the interpreter. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do.
All right, and if you'll state your name for the record.
Your Honor, the interpreter's name is Jorge Valle.
All right. So where we left off, there was a witness on the stand. So if we can recall the witness, please state.
Mendez, over here. Acá, con la espalda.
All right, you can have a seat. And if you'll just restate your name for the record, please.
Juan Villasan.
All right, state.
These are the chronos documents documenting the probation officer activities.
And who enters those documents?
The probation officer.
Does the probation officer work for the supervision office?
Yes.
Is that an investigative office? Does it investigate crimes?
No.
Does it execute search warrants? Is it adversarial?
Judge, I'm going to object to all the leading questions. This is
Sustained.
What is the job of the supervision office?
the duties for a probation officer is to enforce all the court imposed conditions and rehabilitation.
Does a supervision officer enter records in a routine fashion?
Objection leading.
That'll be overruled.
Yes.
Does the supervision officer have a legal duty or responsibility?
Objection leading.
All right, let me hear the question.
Does the supervision officer have a legal duty or responsibility to enter those notes?
Objection leading.
Sustained.
What are the supervision officer's legal responsibility for those?
To document any kind of contact that we have with the offender, overall the conditions of probation, make referrals, send them for blood tests and such.
Thank you. And Your Honor, we're restate, I think we have laid the foundation that under 8038, the records are made as a result of the office's activities, that they are of matters observed while under legal duty to report, that under rear v state, these are not law enforcement personnel.
However, Judge, in the initial questioning, before they were given a break to rehabilitate their witness, they did ask him if he was a law enforcement officer, or if he perceived community supervision to be part of law enforcement, and the answer by Mr. Villasana was yes.
All right. So the court will note that. So defense, what is your objection other than what you just stated?
But my objection is still hearsay and referring to these documents, and he has no personal knowledge.
Sustained.
Excuse me for a moment.
Yes.
Judge, we've already had over lunch hour. Oh, no, hour and a half at lunch. Judge.
Okay. Time out, time out. So you want time with this witness off the record?
I want to determine one other aspect that might need a hearsay.
All right, so here's the thing. He's on the witness stand. So I'm not going to allow you all to speak to him in private off the witness stand until he's released as a witness, because there was time over break. So I'm not going to allow him off the witness stand. So you can ask your next question.
Understood.
Yes.
The records that you have, do you know if they were made at or near the time by or from information transmitted by someone with knowledge?
Yes.
Were the records kept in the course of a regularly conducted business activity? Are the records a regular practice of that activity? And are you the custodian of these records?
The cases assigned to me, everything is documented, so yes, I would say yes.
And this case is assigned to you?
It's assigned to me.
Your Honor, I believe that is the foundation for records of regularly conducted activity.
All right, so here's the question. Even if they are records and he's the custodian of records and you're seeking to lay the foundation for that, that's just to authenticate the records. It doesn't address if there are hearsay items within the records. Am I incorrect?
I believe you are.
I don't think you're incorrect. I think you're exactly on point.
So here's my question. The question is whether or not the records that he has, defense, have you had a chance to review those records?
No, Judge, they didn't bring me anything ahead of time. I asked for a contested hearing a while back.
All right. So the witness will still be on the stand. but the records that you have that the state is seeking to enter into evidence, if you will let the defense view those records to see what is in the records. And the reason why I say we can go off the record, the reason why I bring up the hearsay, which I'm assuming you will be objecting to, I don't know who is putting information in the records. For example, probation. Maybe you have some records in there, right? But items that are in those records, it could be probation has talked to his family member or talked to somebody else, and they're putting those in the records. And if people are trying to say he's custodian of records, which you've met that burden and gone over that hurdle, if there's something in there, reports that they have from some individuals, then technically that's hearsay. If they talk to his mom, talk to the next door neighbor, that's hearsay. Unless we're then going to start saying everything is not offered for the truth of the matter asserted. So defense, I'll give you a chance to review that record that they're seeking to enter. And then if there are objections, let me know. And he's still, you know, a witness. So no one will be talking to you while, you know, you're on the stand. All right. So we're back on the record. Defense, did you have a chance to review the documents?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. And do you have any objections?
Oh, I have a ton of objections, Judge.
Yes.
On almost every entry, none of these entries are made by Mr. Biasano, for one. Number two, some of these officers that made entries still work at the department and are probably present or available to come and testify. And they're making entries in here, including their speculations and their thoughts and impressions. Number three, they've talked to other witnesses that are external to this, and that's obviously hearsay within hearsay. So I have objections to all of these things, especially since after being, I guess, his recollection was reflected over the launch hour. Some of the testimony is a little bit different, and now he is a custodian of records, even though he hasn't prepared any of these documents, and there's no certification to that effect.
All right. Any objections to the court reviewing the documents?
No objection, Judge.
Okay. Could you pass that to me?
Yes.
Oh. So this is what the court will say about this witness being the custodian of records. Yes, he is the custodian of records, and the court is finding that he's the custodian of records. Then the next question is about the documents that he's presenting to the court. These documents are not the full documents of the record. It's just saying some documents have been scanned in, but those documents are not a part of these records. And then the court sees that some of what's in the record are officers' interaction with laypersons. So normally with the custodian of records, the court would not sustain the defense counsel's objection to hearsay. But these documents technically don't meet as records because it's just notations, but what was scanned in is not even in the records. It states that there were some legal documents scanned in, but they're not a part of these records. There's some entry that was made throughout the history of this, but it's not a part, it's not in these records. It's just synopsises or synopsi of records, but it's not here. And some of it is in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish. So it would need to be certified by a interpreter. As far as I know, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, as far as I know, documents that are being sent, that parties are seeking to admit to the court, they have to be in the English language.
Yes, Judge, that's true. Even in the civil courts.
I mean, am I incorrect in that?
No, Your Honor, I've had to pay experts and interpreters to translate documents.
So that needs to be interpreted. So I'm going to sustain defense's objection.
I have no questions.
All right, thank you. I'll call your next witness.
Yes.
Hello. Hi. Did you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand and state your name for the record.
Rebecca Reyes.
All right, state.
On January 13th, 2021, how are you?
With the Bexar County Adult Probation Court Liaison Officer.
What were your responsibilities?
When people were granted probation, I would go over their conditions if they were in custody and give them the information to probation for the report.
And on January 13th, 2021, did you do that with the gentleman by the name of Mark Mendez?
I did.
And do you see Mr. Mendez in the window?
Yes.
And after reviewing those terms and conditions, did you have any other interaction with him?
No, we did it by Zoom because at the time it was during COVID. So his conditions were read over Zoom with the interpreter along with.
No question.
All right, thank you. Call your next witness.
Sit, Your Honor.
All right.
So, Your Honor, I'm going to ask the court find.
Well, just one second. All right, so the defendant pled not true to 5-9, 15M, 15O, 19D, 1 and 5. And state you have no further witnesses?
That is correct, Your Honor.
So what are you asking the court to do?
It's another motion.
All right. Well, the court is finding 5, 9, 15M, 15O, 19D, 1 and 5. Not true. So.
Judge, he's still on probation till 2025.
Yes. Well, there are no conditions for me to add because everything was found not true. So is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
And we keep it working like Oouchie the boss. We trying to catch up like we hit us a fault. We gotta win, ain't taking no loss.